drum roll. No, I'm not going to do that. The sink. Well, it's finished. Hi, John here from Clay Polygon, showing you how I make the costumes and props from the shows you love. If you're new, please consider subscribing. Well, what a wild ride it's been over the last couple of months. Going from, honestly, virtually giving up with this bloody project, to kind of elation, it came out in one piece. I've had a wild ride, ups and downs with my emotions. Let's just show you the sink. Here it is. It's not installed yet. That's happening next weekend. It's currently sat in our to-be decorated, to-be dining room with terrible lighting. I must apologise for that. This time of year, the sun rises over there and kind of goes that way. So basically, this room never gets any daylight. I filmed these shots first thing this morning when it was about -2 outside. It was frosty everywhere. It looked beautiful. But it was the best lighting we've had in weeks. So this is as good as you're going to get. When this thing is sat in our lovely, well-lit new kitchen, I will of course do another video. But for now, yeah. So how did it all go? Last time, I think the last video I did was it was ready for moulding. It was all finished again and it was ready for moulding. That seems like an eternity ago. The moulding process, it went well. It honestly went well, as you can see in these time-lapse videos. In the end, we went with a silicone mould for the top and the front. The underneath was pure fiberglass. No, okay. We did give it a kind of wafer-thin 1mm layer to act as a kind of release agent, but that was the mould. Top, front, silicone, inside fiberglass. The actual casting of the concrete was pretty much a disaster. Firstly, it needed to be above 15 degrees for kind of optimal curing, that's the word I'm looking for. And with the temperature, as it has been lately, we couldn't do it in the garage, so we had to do it in the house. The dining room, which is currently kind of as is when we moved in, horrible, undecorated, blech, seemed the perfect place. It's already a mess, so making more of a mess wasn't a problem. Unfortunately, I feel I have to call out the concrete that we used. So many problems. This very expensive, very specialised concrete demanded a certain amount of water to concrete ratio. We did that, it didn't work. We were forced to use more water than it said to make it a pourable substance. The amount it says on the packet is just rubbish. So the fact we had to add more water made us paranoid that the strength of the concrete wouldn't be as much because of the water mixture. We could also only, due to the weight of the damn thing, only mix one 50-pound bag at a time, get that in the mould, and then mix another one. Because of the problems with the water, all of that, it slowed that process down. So we were really concerned as we were doing this that the first bag would have cured before we got the second bag in, and the third and the fourth and the fifth. So that made us massively paranoid, and a few arguments, if I must admit. The next problem, I'll hold my hand up, that was me. I didn't make a large enough gap at the top, bottom, upside down, of the mould to get the concrete in quickly. We spent ages kind of scooping and trying to get this concrete in a too small hole. So that also slowed down the process. I could go on. Many other things went wrong. It was a bloody disaster. And it took us, 6 hours? But I won't list all the problems. I could, but I won't. Let's just say it didn't go to plan. Thing is, after 6 months, after all that money spent, after all that time, you're so far down the rabbit hole. Yeah. We left the sink about 2 weeks to properly cure. Honestly, we couldn't face demoulding it before that point. When we did demould it, really, that was my lowest point of this project. We took the front off, and I hated it. It wasn't smooth, it wasn't white, even though we added the extra white powder. That's bollocks. There was obvious layers where bag 1, bag 2, bag 3 went, and it was also kind of heavily textured, which is not what you want for a sink. Yeah, so, not impressed. Honestly, that's why I haven't posted in quite a long time. I wasn't really sure what to post because I wasn't really sure how I felt about the whole damn thing. However, time heals all wounds, or so they say, and now I'm feeling much more positive about it. The top of the surface, the top of the sink, the top surface of the sink, the draining board, that all actually looks pretty good. We did, when we started this, kind of say we did want a rustic, handmade feel to this sink. So we have kind of got that. It almost looks a bit marbled in places. And since Amy has put on the sealer layers...
Summer, what are you doing? Hi, Summer. Hello. Oh, bye then.
It's not bad. No, it's not as good as I wanted. Nothing ever is. But it's definitely much better than I feared it was going to be that evening we started to take that mould off. We did get quite a few dents and nicks on the top surface once it was demoulded, partly due to trying to pry the mould off with screwdrivers and slightly damaging it. But what we have done is we've put on some white epoxy resin to smooth off those holes, and really they just, okay, you can tell they're there, but to me they look like the marble effect that we've got naturally in other places of the sink. So again, it adds to that rustic, homemade feel, I think. So what's next? Next weekend, 7th, 8th, that's when we're planning to get the sink to its final home in the house. We're bringing in some muscle to help. We're bringing in some muscle to help us lift the damn thing. And my wife has got the drains and the plumbing all ready to go. So recap. Yes, I wanted perfection. Didn't get it, but it's better than I feared it might be. When this thing is finally in the kitchen and we can finally use it as a sink, it's going to be a talking point. It's going to be a focal point. It's going to be something people go up to and say, where'd you get that from? And I have to keep reminding myself, we did make this thing from scratch. I think that's something to be proud of. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.